Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. Now let's go to the game site for all the action.
Good afternoon, Wildcat fans from the Marion Family Complex. A Friday night ball game. John Ball, Matt Ball with you, and the Cats are coming home. A little bit wounded. It's been a tough week for us, but we're excited to be able to come in with Pea Ridge, Arkansas. We don't know a whole lot about them. We know they've got a record of 10-5. They beat Berryville last week by a score of 9-3. Like I said, we don't know much about him. Matt Easterling is their coach. He graduated from Pea Ridge, went on to college, and came back. He's been with the program for 19 years. They're 5-1 in a conference that includes Gravette, Gentry, and Berryville, and among others. That gives you an idea about what the size of the school is and where we're going. So, like we said, Cats had a tough time last night. We were actually in Ozark, as you probably heard on KNEO, and watched us, and we really appreciate that. And we hope that we can break up your monotony a little bit this afternoon as well. But the Cats actually out-hit Ozark by a score of 7-2. Jaden Fisher was 1 for 3, and he had 2 RBIs. Jaden Nichols, third baseman, has come back into his own. He was 3 for 4, and there were 3 other Cats that actually hit the ball and hit the ball well. The Cats scored 3 in the first inning. Cooper Pumphrey held the Cats scoreless for the rest of the ball game. Between Pumphrey and Colin Muldoon, who we saw with Kickapoo, I believe we've probably seen the best 2 pitchers we're going to see, Matt.
They definitely looked really good, guys.
Now, they really did. We're excited to get this ball game underway. Had just a little sprinkle just a little bit ago, but I believe that the rain is probably out of the way now, and we'll get started here in just a few minutes. We've got a 5 o'clock start time. You're watching and listening to the pregame show, which is brought to you by ProLube, the Tire and Auto Center. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future, one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho, and I want to give you some encouragement today. None of us are perfect, but sometimes we feel like we have messed our lives up so badly that even God can't fix us or help us. I want to assure you that's not the case. In Romans 8:28, we read that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. That means that God can even use your mistakes to do good in your life. I want to encourage you to trust God and let Him give you peace about your past, a purpose in your present, and hope for your future. With KNEO Radio, this is Barry Reel.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, Now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10 plus acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
Here we are back here at Roy B. Schaefer Stadium here in Neosho, Missouri for KNEO. We're going to start with the Keys from the Cats. The Keys from the Cats is sponsored by State Farm Agent Eric Norris in Neosho, located at 437 West Kohler Street, Neosho. Eric and his team offer a variety of insurance services for individuals and businesses. Learn more online at ericnorrisinsurance.com or by phone at 417-451-6666. Let's go Wildcats.
All right, and we'll start off with C. And for those of you that don't know, we said earlier, the Cats have had a pretty rough week. We lost 2 COC ball games. We beat Mount Vernon on Monday, and then we've lost a couple since then. So C stands for come back. Let's get back to what brought us here to begin with. Let's get the ball into play. Let's let the defense take over. Yes, we had a really rough start against Kickapoo, but defense wins ball games. Let's put the ball into play and let the defense do it. We've won 13 ball games that way, Matt, so we probably ought to just continue to do that. A stands for attack at the plate. Last night, Fisher was 1 for 3. He had 2 RBIs. Nichols was 3 for 4. We need everybody doing that tonight. McInturf at the plate was on base 3 different times. He was walked twice and he was hit by a pitch. Runners produce runs. It's just that plain and simple. T, it's time for us to be tough-minded. Tough-minded teams get past these little bumps in the road, which is exactly what we've had. We start tonight with Pea Ridge. We go to Joplin Tuesday, and then Republic comes to town on Thursday. We can be right back up on top with a 3-game winning streak. We own an 8-game winning streak right now, and we can do that again. S, let's stay in control of our own destiny. I want to remind the fans today that we're here because of what we've done, and we're going to continue to do that. And because we are a very good ball club, the sky is not falling in under any circumstances. Let's win the ball game today, take 3 days off to rest and recoup, and I'm talking specifically about Canton Smith, who had a tough time yesterday and came back with a sore neck, get some time to recoup, and get ready to make a huge push into the COC. So what it's going to take for us to do that tonight, we are ready to play ball. Talked to Coach Kilgore a little while ago, and he said we've been out here since about 1:30 today to work on just a few things as well. We're excited about getting the ball game underway, but you're watching the pregame show. We're going to take time out, and then we'll come back with the starters and much, much more. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, Pro Lube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
Pro Lube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
And welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. We're over at the Roy B. Shaver Baseball Stadium. Pea Ridge is between 30 and 45 minutes south of us, so we've got some fans that are just coming in as well. It's going to be a pretty nice afternoon for baseball, maybe a little cool. I think it's probably 72, 73 degrees. The wind is blowing like it normally does here, and it is blowing from the south. It looks like maybe 14, 15 mile an hour. But let's talk about something that maybe we haven't thought about with the Cats losing these last 2 ball games, and that are the district standings. Matt, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Neosho is still in first in the districts. Even though we lost last night to Ozark, we're still 1.47% above everybody as far as the standings go. And then you got Nixa, you got Ozark, who's right under us at 75%. Now, saying that, everybody else is in the 50s and whatnot, but a win tonight would really help us with our percentages.
Yeah, it really would. And once again, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we play Joplin on Tuesday. I think they're like 4-11, and then we want to turn around and play Republic. Republic will come to town, and they're actually 8-10, and Republic is probably the closest after those top 3. So Cats have really got an opportunity to distance themselves from everybody else. Looks like the home plate umpires are getting out there, and we're going to get the coaches in here, and we'll get this ball game started here in just a few minutes. Cats have changed things around just a little bit tonight. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, who does just a whole lot. I mean, talk about a Swiss pocket knife. He definitely is. This guy.
He's an everything man.
He is. He is a DH. He plays right field. He comes in to pitch, and with this being the 4th game this week, he'll be starting out for us. Other than that, Brody Crane will be out in right field, and everybody else is going to be just about the same. But let's go ahead and talk about the starting lineups, and the starting lineup for the visiting Pea Ridge Blackhawks. Starts off with number 10, Jackson Stewart, and he will play shortstop. The number 2 man wears number 3, Jacob Osborne, and he plays third base. Number 3 hitter is Cole Kolinsky. He plays first base. Waylon Fletcher will play second base, and he hits in the 4 spot. Ryan Finster will be the DH. In the 5 spot. The number 6 spot, wearing number 13, is Braden Wright, that will play in center field. The catcher, John Rybar, will be in the 7 spot. 8th will be Darren Fletcher. 9 will be Jace Binger. bench, and Mason Wilton will be on the mound, and he will be in that flex position. For your Neosho Wildcats, they come in with a record of 13-4. Head coach is Keith Kilgore. He is assisted by Drew Osborne, Jacob Galbraith, and Marcus Crawford. Managers are Stella Barrett, Grace Morgan, Quinlan Depew, and Reagan Langford. We'll start off the same way that we have at the beginning of the year with senior Finn Versluis. He'll be in senior field. He will be in center field. Jaden Nichols comes in playing third base. He's followed by Canton Smith. Brody Crane plays right field. Canton will be catching. Brody Crane plays right field, and he'll be hitting in the 4 slot. And he hit a towering shot last night, Matt. If you remember, if the wind hadn't been blowing about 25, 30 miles an hour, that ball would have been out of the ballpark. Sophomore that plays left field for the Cats, Drake Jennings, will be in the 5 spot. He'll be followed by Liam McInturf, who plays first base. Jaden Fisher, who had a hit last night in the ball game, plays second base. Boston Patterson, who has used up all of his pitches for the week, can still play, and he'll be the designated hitter, followed by Hudson Williams, and it'll be the top of the batting order. So for the Cats, it looks like this: Versluis, Nichols, Smith, Crane, Jennings, McInturf, Fisher, Patterson, and Williams. And the coaches are out there. They're looking things over right now and talking to the officials about any ground rules that might be there. So let's take another timeout. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Every team knows that the 2-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Lusk Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
And welcome back. Dave Marty, the PA announcer, is announcing the Cats as they go out. The Cats are the home team here, of course, and we'll be ready to get this ball game underway. We will honor our country with the national anthem, and then we will get underway. Boston Patterson is coming out, and he will be the designated hitter. There's A-Rod will be on the mound for the Cats. And we're about ready to get this ball game underway. The weather outside is just a little spotty. We're seeing a sprinkler or two along the way, but I think it's all supposed to be out of here just pretty quick. So we're getting ready to play ball. Canton Smith goes over and shakes hands with the home plate umpire, and we'll be ready to get this ball game underway. Alex Rodriguez on the mound for the Cats. We've seen him with some closer duties, and we know from last year that he is able to throw the ball, and the first pitch we see is warm-up is a fastball. He's also got a little bit of a curveball and a changeup like most of these high schoolers have. While at Ozark last night, Matt, remember the foul ball that was hit right straight back, and it got up high in the lights, and it broke a light, and it went right down on some of the Neosho fans. We don't have that problem here because the lights are all out of the way from the fans here. That ballpark was a dirt field. It was a natural field, and talking with the people at Ozark, they're in the process of getting a brand new turf field, so next time we play there, it'll be a complete different ballpark. And I think the Cats felt that just a little bit because the ball bounced just a little bit different than it normally would. We had two premier pitchers starting off last night, and I think both of them were throwing 86, 92 mile an hour fastballs, and that dirt just made a little bit of difference. We won't have to worry about that because we'll be going to Joplin, and of course their facilities are primo just as well as Neosho's. So A-Rod's on the mound, and there comes a pitch, and here comes the ball down from Canton, and ball goes to the shortstop, Hudson Williams. He takes it and will make the catch. That's a good sign. We'll get this ball game underway. As we said, it is 72, 73 degrees. We expect it to cool down just a little bit before the night's out. There's a few umbrellas out, but I don't think, as we said, it's going to be really spotty. It stands up from the left-hand side. This is the shortstop, Jackson Stewart. A-Rod pitches from the stretch, and there's a ball outside. Most Neosho pitchers do that. Very few of them actually wind up anymore. He looks down. Here comes his next pitch, and there's a high fly ball. Crane is giving chase, and he's underneath it and makes the catch. So the first out, and that was a long hit ball. That was almost back there on the warning tracks. Here's Jacob Ogburn. Plays third base. He steps in. He'll be swinging right-handed. After him will be Cole Kaczynski, the first baseman. There's the first pitch. It's inside for a ball. Cats are playing pretty much straight away. Crane had to run a little ways. There's called strike on the inside corner. He had to run quite a little ways. As I said, that ball was tagged pretty good, and he was standing almost back on the warning track when he made that catch. Here comes the third pitch, and that one's going to be low and inside. So the count is 2-1 on Ogburn. Here comes the next pitch. There's call strike two. Alex Brother was a Neosho stalwart for a long time and actually went and played in college and hurt his ankle and has come back home. He's going to Crowder now. That's Austin, and we had the privilege of seeing both these kids now on the mound for the Wildcats. Full count, one out. We're in the top half of the first inning. Here comes the next pitch, swung on strike three. So just like that, A-Rod gets his first strikeout, and there is the second out. Cole Kaczynski, the first baseman, steps in. He kind of looks things over and steps in there. But unlike the dirt from last night where they could kind of dig in a little bit, that doesn't happen. There's the first pitch from A-Rod, and it's a strike down the middle. Cats are going to have to do just exactly what we talked about doing, bringing them to the game, and they're going to have to put the ball in play. Defense wins ball games. That's exactly what Coach Kilgore will tell you, and We did not put the ball in play just a whole lot last night. But I believe we were errorless, though, Matt. I don't believe there was a single error that we committed. There's 2 strikes. There's high and inside for a ball.
No, when the guys got the opportunity to play, they played well.
Yeah, they really did.
The defense did, actually, so, I mean.
Yeah. Here comes this next pitch from A-Rod. Swung on strike 3. So there are 2 strikeouts in the side that time. The first 1, 2, and 3. And at the end of a half inning, Pea Ridge fails to score. The Wildcats come up. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do. And for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. And if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Friday night baseball at its finest. Neosho Wildcats taking on the Pea Ridge Blackhawks. We're at the sports complex, the Marion Family Sports Complex. John Ball, Matt Ball, we are glad that you are here with us. We're ready to get off the snide just a little bit after losing 2 COC ball games. But you know what, Matt? I don't believe if we run the table now, we will still win the COC.
Yeah.
And I think there's a very good chance of that. Versluis, Nichols, Smith, and Crane. What we've got to do is we've got to get Versluis on. The speed demon gets on base, and he just does whatever it is to produce runs. There's the first pitch, and that's a call on the inside corner, strike 1. Mason Wilton on the mound for Pea Ridge, and looked like he was going to bunt. Third baseman was coming in, and he pulled back, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Still looking over at third base just a little ways, seeing what Coach Kilgore has in mind. Here comes the third pitch from Wilton, and that's a swung on, and that's going to be right back over here on the soccer field. So the count's a ball and 2 strikes on Finn Versluis, the senior center fielder for Neosho. Comes the next pitch underway, and that's going to be a ball. That's going to even the count at 2-2. Versluis came into the batting order last year, and he was predicted to be one of the elite outfielders that Neosho had ever seen, and I think he fits that billing real well. Comes the next pitch, and he swung on and got him for the strikeout. There's the first out. Little changeup got him, and he knew the minute that he pulled the trigger that he was so far out in front of it, there was no way. Here's Jaden Nichols. He was 3 for 4 last night at Ozark. His first hit was a line shot right through the power alley in right center. And there's a ball that...
Foul ball.
Foul ball. He's a first pitch swinger, and did get a hold of the ball. 1 out, bottom half of the first inning. If you're just joining us, Neosho Wildcats taking on the Pea Ridge Blackhawks. There's the next pitch, and there is a hard hit ball. And it's going to be...
It's gone.
It's gone. Home run for Jaden Nichols.
It's called going yard.
That's exactly what that is, going yard. And we knew, and we've known for some time, that Jaden has the ability to do that. And he teed off on one, and it was all his. So the Cats go up 1-0 in the bottom half of the first inning. There's 1 out, and here's another guy that can go yard at any given time, Canton Smith. Almost think when Canton fakes a bunt up there and then pulls it back and swings, he gets a little bit more contact on the ball, but he's not doing that. He's standing in. Here's the first pitch from Wilton, and there's a call, strike one. He was pretty much looking like he was going to bunt. The third baseman, Oxburn, came running in. Here comes the next pitch from Wilton, and there's swung on, and that ball is way, way back, and center fielder is down underneath, and he makes the play out on the warning track, but that ball was hit and hit hard as well.
Yeah.
But that was nothing but a long out. So there's 2 outs, and here's Brody Crane. Brody hit a ball last night that ended up being a double, but it was to dead center field, and they've got a short fence over at Ozark, but the wind was blowing between 25 and 35 mile an hour, and that held the ball up, and he still got a double out of it, but that would have been out of most other ballparks. Here's Milton. There's call, strike one from Wilton. Wilton looks at his catcher, and looks like catcher's setting up on the outside. There's the next pitch, and that hits the ground in front of the plate, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Cats to begin with have showed that they can hit Wilton. There's the next one, and that's on the outside. Ball 2. Here comes the third pitch underway, and there's one that is hit hard, and that's going to be foul, but that would have been out of the ballpark, I believe.
Yeah,
too.
well, it did go out.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah, that's exactly right. So the lights are on here at Roy B. Shaver. Pretty good cloud cover over there. The count is 2-2 on Brody Crane. Here comes the next pitch from Wilton, and that one's popped way up, and it's coming right back this way. I'm not real sure as far as Arkansas what the rule is for number of pitches for a pitcher, but I'm assuming it's pretty close to the same as Misha rules are, and that's 105 pitches. Freshman and sophomore, 95. The next pitch underway, and Crane gets a hold of this one. He gets it over to the shortstop, backhands it, and he makes the play. But the Cats pick up one on a Jaden Nichols home run. So at the end of 1 inning, it is Neosho 1, Pea Ridge 0. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Affordable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, we become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today, visit risefitnesscenter.com.
Welcome back to the Roy B. Schaefer Stadium, we're getting ready to start the second inning. Cats are up by a score 1-0 based on a towering home run hit by Jaden Nichols, who was 3 for 4 last night, so his hitting ways are continuing. Here's the number 4 hitter for Pea Ridge, and this is Waylon Fletcher. He plays second base. Here comes the first pitch from Rodriguez, inside for a ball. Around the horn, it is Nichols, Williams, Fisher, and McInturf. Their battery mates are Alex Rodriguez and Canton Smith. In the outfield, it is Jennings, Versluis, and Crane. 2 balls and no strikes, and there's one that caught the inside corner for strike 1. Rodriguez is not wasting any pitches, that's for sure. Here comes the next pitch, and that's called strike 2 on the inside corner. That was in just about the same place as the pitch was before. So the count is even, and here comes the third pitch underway, and that got him, strike 3. So Rodriguez has his third strikeout of the night. Here's Ryan Friesman. He bats from the left-hand side of the plate. And there's a swung on strike 1. Rodriguez stretches, pulls out one. That was just a little outside for a ball. That'll even the count out 1-1. In case you're just joining us, it is the top half of the second inning. The Cats are up by a score of 1-0. There's the next pitch from Alex Rodriguez on the mound, and that's swung on for strike 2. So Feimster is swung on, and he's got 2 strikes and a ball. There is a 1 out by way of a strikeout, and there's a ball that is hit, and it is a fair ball, and it got past Jaden, and he will go on to second base, and he'll stand up there. So, 2-base hit for Feimster, the designated hitter. That is the first base runner that Pea Ridge has had. Here's Braden Wright, the center fielder, and he's the one that went all the way back to the warning track and hauled in Canton Smith's hit just a little while ago. Rodriguez goes from the stretch, looks down, and there's the first pitch, swung on strike 1. Rodriguez looks back at second. Here comes the pitch, and that's swung on for strike 2. It's always way ahead of the batter. Wright, the center fielder. He looks at second. Here comes the next pitch, and that's low and inside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cats are playing just basically straight away as you could possibly get, certainly until they get through the Pea Ridge lineup. And there's the next one. That's called strike 3. Got him. Rodriguez gets his 4th strikeout of the night.
Brings up the catcher, John Rybar.
Here's John Rybar, the catcher. He hits in the 7 slot, and he bats right-handed. Runner on second base is Feimster. And there's the first pitch, and that was just a little bit outside for a ball. Rodriguez is not wasting much time, and I'd say that he's got some steam on the ball too. There's the next one, and that was maybe a little bit inside. The best Canton could do to try to frame it, and it didn't work. So there's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. There's 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch, and there is a high foul ball that is going to be out of play. And it actually comes down
in the dugout.
Dugout. Pea Ridge. Yes, it did. a little fly that's messing with us around over here, isn't it? So we've got a ball and two balls and a strike. And here comes the third pitch underway. A little bit inside for a ball. 3-1 and 2 outs on the catcher, Rybar. There's the next pitch, and that is a solid ball that is hit in the power alley. And Finn Versluis is getting the ball in, but there's the first run of the ball game for Pea Ridge. Here's Darren Fletcher, the left fielder. And it looks like maybe we're going to have a pinch runner, it looks like, maybe, for the catcher. And we'll see who that's going to be here in just a minute. Number 17.
That is Camden Allen.
Camden Allen will run for Rybar at first base. And while there's a conference going on, Canton says, well, I'll just go out and talk to my pitcher for just a minute or two while we're waiting. So they get the things settled between them, and he comes back up, and we're ready. The left fielder, Darren Fletcher, stands in, batting right-handed, and there's the first pitch. And there's a quick, I could have had him, but what a great job by Canton to be on top of it. Gets the ball back to McInturf, but as the runner is running in, his helmet hit the glove and knocked the ball out. There's the second pitch, and there is another ball. 2 balls and no strikes, 2 outs. Alex Rodriguez on the mound for the Cats, and there's one down the middle for a strike. Comes the next pitch. And that's a little bit low for a ball. So the count's now 3-1. Rodriguez swinging the ball just a little bit with his hand. Throws the ball over to first base. And runner back there is back in plenty of time. Fletcher steps in. We're ready to go. There's the next pitch, and there's call strike 2 right down the middle. There's no doubt about it with this guy is their Matt, because Rodriguez is putting the ball right down the middle. And there's a throwback over to first base. A runner back in plenty of time. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top half of the second inning. Rodriguez looks down. He and Kent make up their mind. There it goes. And that is call strike 3. Got him.
That's it.
So even though they struck out the side that time, they did score a run on 2 hits. And after 1.5 innings of play, the score is 1-1. We'll be back with the Neosho Wildcats in their half the inning after this. You're watching the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
Well, Well, the rain is still peppering on the window just a little bit, and the umbrellas are back out. But other than that, it's a beautiful evening for baseball. The Wildcats, in their half of the inning, ball game is tied up. We'll start off with Jennings, McInturf, and Fisher. Jennings steps in. There was a race here a while back to see who could get the most walks between him and McInturf. Tells you how disciplined they are. And he looks over at the pitcher and he says, "You're not ready, so I'm going to back out for a second." Steps back in, and here we go. First offering from Wilton, and that's a ball low and inside. Umbrellas are out, but as long as there's no lightning or thunder in the area, we can continue to play. Here comes Wilton's second pitch, and that's going to be low on the outside corner. Ball 2. McInturf, Jennings, Boston, Patterson. And there's a ball on the inside, so that'll make a count of 3-0. And Jennings will kind of stand in there. He'll give it a cursory look, but that's about it. And there's ball 4. So Jennings draws a base on balls. And here's the big first baseman, Lim McInturf. As we said, McInturf was on base 3 times last night at Ozark. He walked twice and was hit by a pitch. He has some pop in his bat too, though, so don't think he does not. There's the first pitch, and there's call strike 1. Mason Wilton just kind of reared back and threw that one. Jennings takes a little bit of a lead off at first base. Here comes a pitch, and he's off. And off to the races, and he's in.
Safe.
It was a pretty good throw, but he had a really good jump, so Jennings is in second with a stolen base. And there's a ball and a strike. McInturf is stepping back out, looking over at something over there, and then step back out again. I'm not sure either. And Wilton looks at Jennings. Here comes a pitch, and that is high. In fact, the catcher almost had to do a little vertical leap to get that one. It makes the count 2 balls and a strike on the first baseman, McInturf. And looks like Wilton is going to step off. He's going to look at his wrist coach for just a minute, and he's going to step back in. Now, we found out last night that, we'll talk about it here in just a minute. Looks down, here comes a pitch, and there's a ball that's fouled off. Last night, while we were in Ozark, according to MSHA rules, a pitcher from the time he catches the ball until he throws it, he's got 20 seconds and 20 seconds only. And that was called on Pumphrey last night, and that was a ball was added to the count, and that aided Hudson Williams to go on to first base. Well, he swung at it, so there's the first out. There's the first, second strikeout for Mason Wilton. Here's Jaden Fisher, who was 1 for 3 last night with a couple of RBIs. He had a line shot right through that right center field power alley. There's the first pitch, and that's going to be low and outside. And Jennings is going to go on down to third base with a passed ball. So the Cats have got an opportunity here. There's a runner on third, and there is 1 out. Boston Patterson, the designated hitter, will be up next. There's a pitch from Wilton, and that's right down the middle for a call strike 1. Jaden probably just wanted to look at that more than anything else, and that's exactly what he did. He has displayed the ability to hit the ball right on the nose. There's a ball low and outside. And that'll make the count 2 balls and a strike. And most everything he hits is a line shot, too, isn't it, man?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wilton looks over at third. Here comes the next pitch. And that's a call strike, 2. So that evens the count at 2-2. Wilton looks down. Here comes the next pitch. And there's a ball that is just foul. Jaden hit that ball right down the first baseline. He did that the other night, too, or last night, too. And the ball was just foul by just inches. It gotten over into that corner where the right fielder is almost in the middle of right field, and he could have run forever. The count remains the same. We'll do it again. Here comes the next pitch. And he does just that. That's a base hit that is going to bring in a run, and Jaden gets on first base. So Fisher continues his RBI ways, and the Cats go up by a score of 2-0, and Jaden is on first base with a single. Here's Boston Patterson.
Brings up the DH, Boston Patterson.
Boston looks down at Coach Kilgore, steps back in. Coach Kilgore coached in Arkansas for several years, so he's got a pretty good idea about what Arkansas players are looking for and what they do. There's the first pitch, and that is low on the outside for a ball. Coach Marcus Crawford is over on first base, and Fisher gets off just a little bit, and he gets back in plenty of time. One of the things that the Wildcats continue to do is get on base, and they are aimed at disrupting the pitcher, and it certainly works. There comes a pitch from Wilton, and there's a swung on for a strike 1. That evens the count at 1-1. Hudson Williams in the top of the batting order. Patterson waves his bat just a little bit, and there's a throw back over to first base. Fisher back in plenty of time. Flag is still coming out of the south. It's not near what it was, and there is a foul ball, but the hit and run was on, and Fisher will have to come back. And he had a great jump that time, didn't he?
I tell you, this kid is just so much fun to watch run around the bases.
Yeah, he really is. So we'll do it again. There is a ball and 2 strikes on Boston Patterson, and Fisher kind of leans towards second base, and then he gets back over as Wilton looks over. Here comes the next pitch, and there is a hard hit ball to center field. Center fielder is tracking up under it, and he makes the catch. So once again, there is another long out. And Braden Wright has been busy out there in center field for the Blackhawks.
You know, he just looks natural.
Yeah, he does. Very much so. Here's Hudson Williams. Now, he got behind the center fielder the other night on Monday night when we were playing Mount Vernon, and we had a walk-off inside the park. Home run, grand slam. So Hudson makes contact, and he can motor as well. After him, it'll be Finn for Sluice, and we'll start all over again for the Cats. Hudson stands in there, wiggles that bat around a little bit, and there's a ball low. Fisher over there on first base is just kind of biding his time, but I think he is, we're going to let him loose here in just a minute or two and see if we can't get him to second base. There he goes. And there is a hard hit ball. Once again, it is a pop-up. First baseman's trying to call for it. Second baseman calls for it and makes the play. So, but the Cats pick up another one. It is 2-0 in favor of the Neosho Wildcats after 2 full innings of play. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Insurance Benefits Consultants now has 2 locations to serve you. They're located at 1009 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho and at 701 Northwest McNelly Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. They are proud supporters of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They provide Medicare and Medicaid supplemental policies, as well as life, health, and group health insurance plans from companies like Allstate and Colonial. For more information, call 417-451-4244 or in Arkansas, 479-431-5226. Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name brand tires such as Nexen, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
Top half of the third inning, Friday night football, baseball at its best. I thought football for just a minute or two.
Well,
it can be confused like that. It's always
the
a little
lights are
cool.
on, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. We're excited to bring you the ball game tonight. Top half of the third inning, and the Cats are up by a score of 2-1. Here is the first pitch from A-Rod, and it spins the batter around Jace Bird. Benj stands back in there, and he gets ready. Here comes the next pitch from A-Rod, and that hit him. So, Pea Ridge has base runner. Jackson Stewart, the top of the batting order, is up. He bats from the left-hand side. He flew out to Brody Crane back on the warning track in right field his first time up. Rodriguez looks down. He and Canton get this settled. Ball goes over to first base just to kind of remind the runner that he's still there watching. Cats had a towering home run by Nichols in the first inning, and then they had a hit by Fisher, and there is a solid shot, and Versluis is going to come down, and he's going to take it on one bounce and get it back in. So runners on first and second. And here's the third baseman, Ogsburn. Ogsburn was a victim of Alex Rodriguez his first time up and struck out. Rodriguez so far has got 5 strikeouts in the ball game in the top half of the third inning. Looks down, here comes the first pitch, and they pulled it back, and Canton was ready to throw the ball down to first base and thought better of it. I believe there'll be a JV ball game after this, so if you want to come on out, there's plenty of time for that. Rodriguez looks at second, and it comes down. There's the bunt, and it is fouled. So that's strike 2 on Osborne. That may take that, just take that bunt out of play now. So A-Rod can come back and he can rock and fire. Steps off the mound for just a minute or two. And looks down. He and Canton got things settled between them now. And there's a throw back to second base, and it actually gets past everybody. And there's a throw down to third, but both runners are safe. So a miscue that time because the second baseman or the shortstop, neither one was covering, and Rodriguez spins and throws. There's no out, so a strikeout here would go a long ways towards making the Cats feel a little bit better. Smith goes out and wants to talk to Rodriguez for a minute, and then he says, okay, we've got to go, and Coach Kilgore is kind of coming back out and looking around for a minute. And here comes the next pitch. Got him, strike 3. So there's the first out. Here is Cole Kaczynski, the first baseman. His first time out, he was a victim of A-Rod too, and he struck out. I'm sure we'd like to see that happen again. Crane is playing just a little bit in right field. And looks like that they're going to bunt, and we'll see what the home plate umpire calls that. I believe he's going to call it a ball. But both McInturf and Nichols were coming in on the play. Rodriguez stretches. Here comes the pitch. And there's another one, and he swung at that one, so that's strike 1. Cats are in at infield level just a little bit, thinking there might be a play at the plate. Eden's a count at 1-1. There's one out, and he's going to bunt again, and he fouled that one off. So that's strike 2.
Well, Pea Ridge is being aggressive, that's for dang sure.
Yeah, they are. Ball and 2 strikes on Kaczynski. There's the next one. That is swung on, and it goes to the shortstop. Shortstop over to first base for the out. And he's saying he's safe. McInturf reached around to tag him, but they bring another run in, and that evens the count at 2-2. And Kaczynski will give him a infield hit. And the runner goes over to third base. So there's still one out, but there's a runner at first and second. Cats need a double play ball here. It looks like maybe we're going to try to bunt again. And this is Fletcher, the second baseman, also the number 4 hitter. And he just kind of stands up there and says that's what he's going to do. Rodriguez mixing it up just a little bit, trying to get in the runners' minds. This is reasonably interesting. He has not actually pulled the bat back yet. He looks like he is going to bunt, and there it comes. And there's a foul ball for strike 1. Tie ball game now, 2-2. There is one out. Pea Ridge has runners on first and third. One thing about a bunt, that'll take the double play ball out of the way. And there's the next one, and that's swung on for strike 2.
Oh, I thought that was third.
No. The ball's in 2 strikes on Fletcher, and there's a throw back over to first base, and runner's back in plenty of time. Kaczynski's got a pretty good lead off over there, and there's another pitch. That's going to be fouled back, and we'll come back and do it again. It's turned from being a pretty nice evening to a little bit balmy out there. We're seeing folks with jackets on. Rodriguez on the mound. There's his pitch, and there's a snap throw almost. Canton pulls it back and looks over at third base. And there's the second out. Cats get out of this with just 1 run. That's got to be a confidence builder. Here is the DH, Finster. He hit the ball hard his last time up, and he came around and scored. There's his first pitch low and outside for a ball. Cats are still playing back offense-wise, and there's a foul ball for strike one. That evens the count at 1-1. Zenski's over there on first base, and he just kind of makes like he's going to head that way. We haven't seen him actually take off yet. A-Rod looks down, looks over that way, snap, throw back over. There comes the pitch underway, and there's a swung on, and that goes right to the pitcher. Underhands it over to first base, and the Cats get out of it with only one run. So at the end of 2.5 innings, the score is now 2-2. You know, your Neosho Wildcats are coming up to bat. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Affordable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
Bottom half of the third inning for the Cats, and we're going to start off with the top of the batting order, Finn versus Luz. We had some Cats that have hit the ball really hard and a long ways out to center field. I think it's just a matter of time, Matt, until they get ready to tee off.
Yeah.
Luz struck out his last time up. We get him on base and we manufacture runs. It's just that simple. Here comes the first pitch from Mason Wilton, and there is a strike call.
Well, they keep hitting the ball. It's bound to happen.
It sure is. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, and that's going to be right back out here. Maybe it's going to get out of the... Yeah, it did. It just barely got over the fence and took a big bounce on the concrete behind the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes on the senior center fielder, Finn Versluz. He does his best work sometimes when he knows he's got to guard the plate. And there is a hard hit ball. I believe that it's giving chase over there in left field, but that's going to be out of play. Darren Fletcher over there in left field giving chase to that one. That was a pretty well hit ball. The count remains the same, no balls and 2 strikes. Comes the pitch from Mason Wilson, and there is another one that is foul. Mason Wilton in his third inning, and he has pitched, 26 pitches so far?
36.
36. So, Versluz steps back in. No balls and 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom of the third, and he swung at that one, and that's a foul also. So he keeps fouling them off, and
he's hanging
Wilton,
in there.
He's hanging in there. He certainly is. Good at bat for Sluice. Here Comes the next pitch from Wilton, and there is a solid ball that is hit, and that ball is going to be.
That's fair.
It's a fair ball, and Versluis is going to be into second, and he's sliding in, so double.
I guess when the turf's a little wet, you can slide a long ways. That was a long slide.
I guess that's probably the truth. Here's Jaden Nichols. He had a home run his last time up over the left field fence. And he continues. He is now 4 for 5 in his last 5 times up. He steps in, and Wilton, I'm sure, remembers him from a while ago. And there's the first pitch, and that ball's hit to the shortstop. And shortstop gets it over to first base, and they're going to try to get Versluis, but there's no way that's going to happen, and he gets into third. So Nichols gets Versluis over to third base, but he is out 6-3. There's the first out, and here's Canton Smith. Cats continue to nibble away a little bit at a time. Smith and then Brody Crane and Drake Jennings up for the Cats. Smith steps in. Messes with his headgear just a little bit. There's the first pitch. And that ball got away from the catcher. We scored the run. So the Cats go up by a score of 3-2. And that's ball one on Canton Smith. Bases are empty now. Cats need base runners. And there's a pitch that was on the outside corner, I believe. And the count is even now. Well, no, I believe that's a strike. Counts even at 1-1. And there's a ball that bounces in front of home plate, ball 2. There is a big, big gap in the power alley to right center field. And here's the next pitch. And Canton hits that ball, and he lifts it up. And it falls in, and he's going to go around second base. Canton's standing up, and he is going all the way to third base, and he's going to make it in with plenty of time. Third of triple, and now he's going to – thought he was going to go ahead and come back in, but it looked like they got the ball picked up in time. So Canton hits the ball.
There we go.
Left field, and he gets a 3-bagger for it. Here's Brody Crane, and we're going to call timeout for just a minute or two because the coach wants to come out and talk to his pitcher, Wilton.
That's what you call one of those quick decisions.
Yes, it was. It certainly was. Looked like Canton had a chance to go ahead and score.
Yeah.
And I thought, but then the last minute stopped.
I'd say Kilgore's probably down there going, no.
Yeah, I would say so too. Brody Crane's going to go over and talk to Crawford, the first base coach. And he's probably going to remind him of you don't pull your head, and we'll watch and see where the ball goes. Brody hit the ball a long way the last time up. Unfortunately, it was caught back in the warning track. Everybody comes back out, and we're ready to go again. It will be Brody Crane, Drake Jennings, and Lim McInturf for the Cats. Mason Wilton on the mound for Pea Ridge, reaching for the stretch, and there's a swung on for strike one. Cats are in a position to pick up at least one, maybe two more. And there's a ball on the outsides for that'll even the count at 1-1. Here comes the next pitch. And there is a ball that's outside. Make the count 2 balls and a strike. That ball that Canton hit was a fly ball, and it got over down there in that corner and carried around, and he used his speed and got all the way to third base. And there is a high ball going to right field. The right fielder is trying to come in, and he makes the catch. And here comes Canton. He's going to make. He's going to make
Blaine
this
Patterson.
Yeah. Okay, Blaine Patterson. That's right. But the Cats pick up another run. Blaine came in for Canton. I say, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if you caught that or not.
No, I didn't. But Crane flies out to the right fielder, but he gets the job done, and there's the second out, and we'll trade an out for a run. Cats are up by a score of 4-2 now. And here is Drake Jennings, the sophomore left fielder. There's the first pitch, and that's down the middle for call strike 1. Lim McInturf and then Jaden Fisher for the Cats. There's call strike 2. Just like that, Wilkin gets ahead of Jennings. Here comes the next pitch, and he hits that one, and that's a high ball. The left fielder is over there. He's underneath, and he makes the play.
Got it.
So the Cats pick up a couple, though, and we go into the top of the 4th inning with a 2-run lead of 4-2. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The law offices of Wood & Peterson is sponsoring this portion of Neosho Wildcat Athletics, located at 217 South Lafayette, Neosho, and 431 Virginia Avenue in Joplin. They serve Southwest Missouri with personal claim representation. For more information, the phone number is 417-451-4141 or online at neoshoattorney.com. The law offices of Wood & Peterson are proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Wright, Rybar, and Fletcher in the top half of the 4th inning. John Ball, Matt Ball. We're here at the Roy B. Shaver Baseball Stadium. Pretty good crowd out here. You got time to get on out here? I believe there'll be a JV ball game after this. Alex Rodriguez on the mound for the Cats. And here is Braden Wright, the center fielder. He struck out his last time up. So far, Rodriguez has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts in 3 innings. There's the first pitch. It's high for a ball. And there's a call strike 1 right down the middle. And there is no doubt about the difference between his fastball and that curveball, is there?
No, there's not.
Comes the next pitch underway, and that was just a little bit inside for a ball. We'll make the count 2 balls and a strike. Now, so far, P. Ridge has answered the Cats every inning. This would be a good time for us to stifle him. And that was a strike, and got him. So there's the first strikeout of the inning there. And here's John Rybar. Rybar had a single his last time up and was stranded at first base, or the courtesy runner for him was. He steps in, he waves his bat a little bit. Here comes Rodriguez, and there's call strike 1. Comes the next pitch underway. Strike 2, right down the middle. It's turned into a pretty nice evening out here. The umbrellas are all gone now. There's a third pitch, and that's fouled off back here into the soccer field. Ball game started at 5 o'clock. We've been going about an hour, and this is the top of the fourth, so it's moving right along. And ball just a little bit outside. That makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out in the top of the fourth. Cats up by a score of 4-2. Comes the next pitch from A-Rod. And, oh my goodness, that was close. It was really close. Rybar thought so too because he almost pulled the trigger. That evens the count at 2-2. There's the next pitch and swung on, got him. Strike 3. Here's Darren Fletcher. He's probably the, between him and the center fielder out there right, they're the busiest 2 people, I think, on the ball club.
Yeah.
Cats have hit a lot of balls high. First pitch in there is strike 1. Rodriguez is known for being a strike pitcher. There's strike 2. As long as they'll look at it, he'll continue to strike because he certainly wants to put the ball in play and let his defense do the work. That ball's low for ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. And, the home plate umpire appealed, and base umpire said he did not break the plane of the plates. That evens the count at 2-2. Here comes the next pitch, and that ball is low. Got away from Canton. So we've got a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, top half of the 4th inning. Cats lean in just a little bit, and there's the pitch, and there's swung on strike 3. So Rodriguez strikes out the side. You can't ask for much more than that, can you, Matt?
No, I'll tell you what, he's doing really good. His pitches are looking great.
So there's a 0 up there at the 4th inning for the Pea Ridge Blackhawks, and the score remains 4-2 in favor of the Wildcats. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The Sports Locker, located at 1206 Neosho Boulevard, Neosho, is a proud supporter and supplier of Neosho Wildcat Athletics. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. They carry all the biggest brands, including Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas sports apparel and equipment. Be sure to check out their Facebook page at Sports Locker Team Sales and Specials, or their number is 417-451-9300. Proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Here's Lynn McInturf, the big first baseman. He, see, what did he do the first time up? He struck out, which is very unusual for him. He steps in, and there's the first pitch, and it swung on for a foul ball, strike 1. Mason Wilton on the mound for Pea Ridge, and he has so far gone the distance, as has Alex Rodriguez. There's the next pitch, and there is a hard hit ball to right field. Right fielder coming in, and he makes the play, so that's the first out of the side. Here's Jaden Fisher. Jaden had a single his first time up. And the Cats need base runners because he was stranded there. After Fisher, it'll be the designated hitter, Boston Patterson, and then it will be Hudson Williams. There's the first pitch on the outside corner, call strike 1. There's not just a whole lot about these 2 pitchers that's pretty straightforward. They both throw the ball hard, and Fisher jumps out of the way from that one. And could very well have bounced up and hit him, but it didn't, so that evens the count at 1-1. just rock and fire. And there's a ball outside. Makes the counts 2 ball and a strike. One out in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Here comes the next pitch, and that's inside for ball 3. That was a little bit of a change up. Looked like he took a little something off of that. I don't know whether he was expecting a curveball to come in. It didn't curve or what. Fisher hit the ball to right field the last time and got on first base. And there's ball 4. So Fisher's been on twice now. With one out, here's Boston Patterson. Boston flied out to deep center field his last time up. We're hitting the ball a long, long ways. We're just going to have to start hitting it where they ain't.
Yeah.
Comes Wilton's first pitch, and there's a ground ball over to third base. They're trying to get the runner out at first, second. They would get the force at second, but Patterson is safe. So 5-4 gets the force out at second base, and Patterson is on by way of a fielder's choice. Here's the shortstop, Hudson Williams, and it's the top of the batting order. Hudson stands in. There's a first pitch, and it's called strike 1. It may have been a little bit of a curve ball that came around and fooled Hudson that time.
Well, it looked a little high to me, but
no, it did. And Hudson says, "Nah, I'm going to step out for a minute. We're not going to do this." Steps back in. Here comes the offering, and there's a hard hit ball right at the second baseman. That hit it right on the nose, but right at the second baseman for the third out to retire the side. So the Cats go down with leaving a runner on base. At the end of 4 innings, it's 4-2 in favor of your Neosho Wildcats. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
You found it, the ultimate car wash, the one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
McKay Quality Roofing is a proud supporter of KNEO Radio and the Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They're located in their offices at 811 South Neosho Boulevard. They specialize in roof removal and replacement of residential and commercial properties. In order to serve you better, they have offices in Neosho, Cassville, and Grove, Oklahoma. Call McKay Quality Roofing at 417-455-3326 for a free quote, or go online at McKayQualityRoofing.com for more information. Go Cats!
Jace Binge, and then it's the top of the batting order for the Pea Ridge Blackhawks. On the mound for the Wildcats is Alex Rodriguez, and I'm just continuing to try to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 strikeouts so far in 4 innings. That's just pretty good. And he looks down, and here comes the first pitch to Binge, and it's swung on for strike 1. Flag out there is blowing just a little bit, and it's blowing to the south. There is a foul ball that is going to go back over here onto the soccer field. So Rodriguez is on top of Binge, who was hit by a pitch and came around and scored. And there is call strike 3. Got him. So Alex just continues to strike out his own on the way down. Here is Jackson Stewart, the shortstop, top of the batting order. He hit a single and was stranded at third base his last time up. His first time up, he flied out. There's call strike 1 on the outside corner. A A-Rod doing just exactly what the Cats need. And that is pitching, and he's going to pitch deep into the ball game because we've had 3 ball games this week, and our pitchers need to rest a little. Here comes the next pitch, and that's outside, so that's ball 2. Go to Joplin next week on Tuesday. However, the Cats will be playing, and they're swung on for strike 2. Cats will be going to Gravette, Arkansas Monday night. Our next broadcast will be in Joplin on Tuesday, and then Republic comes here on Thursday. Rodriguez looks down at Canton Smith. They get settled in, and there's a pitch, and it's low. That'll run the count full. Rodriguez steps off for just a minute, wants to collect himself. Looks down, here comes the pitch. Got him, foul,
nope,
foul ball. Yeah. So the count remains the same, and we'll do her again. Cats are pretty well at infield depth. Here comes the next pitch, and there is a hard hit ball that is fouled back, and it may get over into the softball field. So the Stewart's having a pretty good at bat right here. A-Rod not willing to let up though. And I got him. Yes, it did. Nice job of catching that ball on the outside corner. And Canton just holding it there to give the home plate umpire plenty of time to ring him up, and that's exactly what happened. Here is Jacob Augsburn. Here comes the first pitch. Swung on, strike 1. There's another one, strike 2. Yes, he did. He crossed the plane of the plate. He tried to hold back, but that did not happen.
Say, it looked like it went out there pretty far.
Sure, yeah, it sure did. Here comes the third pitch, and that's called strike 3. Got him. So for the second time in a row, A-Rod strikes out the inning, and we will go to the bottom of the 5th. The Cats are up by a score of 4-2. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
At the Hillcrest Church of Christ, we're striving to be His own people, eager to do what is good. Join us for worship at 10 and 6 Sundays, and for class Sunday morning at 9 and Wednesday evening at 7. You're sure to find a warm welcome and friendly people seeking to please God according to His Word. Wildcats, join us every Tuesday morning before school for Devo and Donuts at 7.
The Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the 4-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy spirit, mind, and body. With 2 locations to serve the area in Grove, Oklahoma, and Neosho, the Freeman Family Y open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. For more information, you can go online to ymcaswmo.org or call us at 417-455-9999.
3, 2, 1, go.
Bottom half of the 5th inning, the Cats come up to bat. It's the top of the batting order. It'll be Versluis, Nichols, and Smith. Cats need to get going and get going fast. They're up by 2, 4-2. A-Rod's doing his part. He's got 13 strikeouts so far against the Pea Ridge Blackhawks. But 2 runs, as we've seen several times before, is not enough to rest on your laurels. There's the first pitch. Versluis fakes a bunt, then pulls it back for ball 1. Mason Wilton on the mound for Pea Ridge. Here comes his second pitch, and that's called strike 1. A little hanging curveball that time.
It did. It hung in there.
So Versluis steps back in. He had a double and came around and scored, and that one bounced in front of the plate. That'll make the ball. Make it 2 balls and a strike. Cats scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third. And there's a ball. It was a nice job by Rybar to try to frame that, but the home plate umpire wasn't having any part of it. 3-1's the count. And Versluis goes to first. Here's Nichols. He is 1 for 2. He had a home run to left field his first time up, and then he grounded out to the shortstop his last time. Let's look down and see what Coach Kilgore's got in mind. Versluis is stepping off just a little bit, and there's a ball that Rybar just barely was able to hang on to. It was high and outside. There's a pretty good hole over the first baseman's head. And there he goes. And not even close.
Safe.
And he's safe, you bet. So Versluis is on second. There's no outs, and it is the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jaden Nichols steps in. He eyes the play. It would not surprise me to see him hit the ball over to right field. There's a big hole because the second baseman is standing on second base watching Versluis. And there is a ball that's going to come right back here to us. Guy took his hat off and tried to catch that. I thought he was too. So there's a ball and 2 balls and a strike. No outs, bottom half of the 5th. Canton Smith and Brody Crane up after Nichols. Nichols kind of staring the pitcher down for just a minute, and he says, no, wait a minute, he's taking too long. I want to get out of the box. So he steps back in. Versluis is taking a pretty good lead, and there is a high ball, and there's 3 players converging on it. We'll see exactly who gets it, and the second baseman is the one that actually caught the ball. So there is the first out. And here's Canton Smith. He had a triple his last time up and came around to score.
At batting for 34, Canton Smith.
Puts his headgear on, moves it around a little bit, and steps in there. There's the first pitch from Wilton, and they're swung on strike 1. That was Canton's pitch, and I promise you he was trying to hit that ball to right center field. A little bit high and a little bit outside. That was his pitch.
He may want to look out there at right field.
Yep. And the catcher is going to come back in, and he's got to take his gear off, do something with his glasses, and he's coming back. We're getting ready to go. Brody Crane and Drake Jennings up for the Cats in this part of the inning. There's 1 out and a runner on second base. Finn Versluis. And he takes a pretty big lead off. There is a real hole because the second baseman is on second base, and that ball gets away from the catcher. Just short hops and enough for Versluis to get around to third.
Well, and that shortstop was playing almost behind third base.
Yep. Yeah,
there's some lanes out here.
There are. There sure are. Now all Canton's got to do is contact the ball. Here comes the pitch, and that is on the outside corner, but it's a ball. Count now is 2 balls and a strike. There's 1 out. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Canton reaches in, swings a couple of times. There's a pitch, and that is outside. Had been a little bit more outside and gotten away from the catcher, we'd had another run. 3-1's the count. And there's strike two. Oh, Kenton thought that he was throwing the ball over, but that was a call, he was throwing the bat over, but that was a call strike two. So the count is full on Canton Smith. And he hits that one. It's high. Second baseman is coming in to make the play, and they're throwing the ball in, and Versluis is just kind of standing there. So the second time the second baseman catches a fly ball in this inning, and that's a second out. Here's Brody Crane. He has grounded out, and he hit the ball to right field.
Brings up number 4, Brody Crane.
Get Versluis all the way to third base and not be able to score would be a shame. Here comes Wilton's pitch, and that's high for a ball. Here comes the next pitch, and there is a hard hit ball, and that ball it's caught right back there on the warning track for an out. It looked like that ball had a chance of getting out, but it didn't. So the Cats leave a runner on third base, and we go to the sixth inning. Score is 4-2 in favor of your Neosho Wildcats. You're watching the Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
And welcome back. We're at the Roy B. Shaver Stadium in the Marion Family Complex. Top half of the sixth inning. Cats are up by a score of 4-2. There's been no action on either side for the last 2 innings. And certainly with Mr. Alex Rodriguez, who has 13 strikeouts to his name. It's a little hard to have much action when that happens. Here is Cole Kaczynski, the first baseman. Here's the first pitch from A-Rod, and that ball is picked up by Williams over to first base to retire that one. So just about the time we think the strikeout, then here comes the defense, and we're glad to see that. So there's a 6-3, and there's one out. Here's Waylon Fletcher, the second baseman. Rodriguez puts the first pitch, and that ball is swung at for strike one. Looked like he tried to hold up, but home plate umpire said no, he broke the plane. Comes the next pitch down, and there's a foul ball, strike two. And just like that, A-Rod's ahead in the count 0-2. Comes the next pitch underway, and there's a hard hit ball, but Versluis is right there, and he makes the play. So there's the second out of the side.
Brings up the DH, Ryan Finster.
Here's Ryan Finster. He came around to score in the second inning, and then he was out 1-3 right back to the pitcher the last time he was up. And here comes the first pitch. Looks like he's going to try to bunt. He pulls back, but it's called strike one. Here comes the next pitch from A-Rod, and that's swung on, so that's foul ball, strike two. And just like that, he's ahead in the count 0-2. comes his next pitch. And that was ball outside. Cats are playing a ground ball depth on the inside, and that ball was high, got away from Canton. That'll even the count at 2-2. Appreciate you being with us tonight. We're grateful for all the viewers that we've got. We also appreciate all of our sponsors. Thank you for allowing us to do this. There's the next pitch, and that was just on outside. So that evens the count at 2-2 on Finster. And there's a ball hit to first base, and it gets past McInturf. It was picked up by Fisher, but by the time we got that mess straightened out, the runner was on first. So there's a runner on base. And here is Braden Wright. Wright has struck out both times that he's been up tonight. There's the first pitch. It's in there for call strike one. Rodriguez looks over at the coach over in the dugout for a minute or two, and then he steps right up. Here comes the second pitch, and that's call strike two. So just like that, he has been ahead of every batter.
Yeah.
0-2. There's the third pitch, and that is going to be fouled out of play. So the count will remain the same, and we'll do her again. 2 outs in the top half of the 6th inning. Cats up by a score of 4-2. Runner on first base for P. Ridge, and that Canton thought that was there. He just held it right there, but the home plate umpire said no, it's a little high. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes a pitch, and it's foul back. Hey, Rod's still okay on pitch counts, but we sure need to get rid of this one and come on in and rattle the bats. That got him, sure did. I guess he heard me, Matt.
Yeah. Well,
So he gets his 14th strikeout, and after 5.5 innings of play, the Neosho Wildcats 4 and the Pea Ridge Blackhawks 2. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com.
Compton Seed.
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent.
Hi, I'm Pastor Mike of Calvary of Neosho, and I want to take a minute to share grace with you today. And what is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something that you don't deserve. I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God has made a way for me to have one by His grace. Titus 2 says the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. Have you accepted that gift of grace? For KNEO Radio, I'm Mike Leake.
Jennings, Fisher, and Patterson, and there's the first pitch from Wilton, and that is a strike one in the outside corner. Cats could pick up an insurance run here or two. There was a ball that's hit all the way back to third baseman. Third baseman trying to get over, and it gets past. And here goes Jennings. He's going to go down to second. So there's one of the first errors of the ball game for Pea Ridge, and Cats made him pay with Jennings now in scoring position. I believe that was probably going to be an base hit anyway, but certainly got away from the first baseman. Here's Lynn McInturf. He is flied out and he is struck out. And Coach wants to come out and talk to his pitcher for just a minute or two, so we'll take time out. We want to thank some of our sponsors. We want to thank First Community Bank. We want to thank ProLube, your tire and auto center. We also want to thank Josh Dodson. He is your Farm Bureau agent. All of those people, go by and tell them thank you. You really appreciate them giving us the opportunity for you to see the ball game and for us to bring it to you. McInturf looks over at third base. He's trying to see what Coach Kilgore would have him to do. Drake Jennings, who has got a set of wheels himself, is over on second base. So McInturf steps in there. We'll see if the Cats have got something going. Wilton looks down, looks at second base. Here comes the pitch. And that was a slow hanging curve, low for a ball. Well, the shortstop is coming over. The second baseman is standing there on second base. And once again, it's wide open. Now, McInturf has the ability to hit the ball and hit a ground ball right up through the middle between first and second base. We saw him do that the other night, and that swung on for strike one. Wilton looks down at his wrist coach, steps back in. Jennings is just leading off enough that we're going to try to throw the ball over to second base, but bluff did not work. Jennings back in plenty of time. So the count's even at 1-1. We're in the bottom half of the sixth inning, no outs, and Cats have got a runner on second base.
Base hit.
There's another base hit. Yeah. So McInturf gets on first, and there's nothing that Jennings could do that time. Here's Jaden Fisher. He has had a base hit, and he has walked. It still just, it amazes me. If you look out there, there is a big hole between second and first. Second baseman keeps hanging on there. We're going to have a pinch runner. That is number 29.
Dane Arthur.
Dane Arthur. The freshman comes in and takes McInturf's place. McInturf does his job. We've got some speed on the bases now. Fisher, Patterson, and Williams. Home plate umpire is pulling his little pad out where he keeps track of everything. And the coach from Pea Ridge wants to go over and check with him as well. Now we're going to look and see just exactly what's going on here. And now he goes over and talks to Coach Kilgore. And now the home plate umpire is going to go on over it. So we're going to thank some more of our sponsors. We want to thank Affordable Propane, Edgewood Bowl. We want to thank the Big Nickel, Insurance Benefit Consultants of Neosho. And now we're getting ready to get back into place. Fisher steps in. And Wilton looks over at his dugout, and he pitches from the stretch. Runners on first and second for the Cats. Comes the first pitch, and he faked a bunt and pulled it back it was low for a ball. I say fake the bunt, that really wasn't a fake. He saw that he could not bunt that ball, so he pulled it back. There's no outs. Runners on first and second. Bottom half of the sixth inning for the Cats. And Fisher bunts again. This is a good bunt. It's going to move everybody around, and there's a good chance. And he gets on, and here comes a run in. And we've got Arthur over on third base. So we pick up one run.
There we go.
Fisher does his job. And here's Boston Patterson. Runners on first and third still, and there is no outs. After Boston Patterson is Hudson Williams, and then it's the top of the batting order. Well, that was a well-placed bunt by Fisher and did just exactly what it needed to do, and the ball bounced in front of the second baseman and got out of the way, and we picked up a run. Patterson hit the ball a long ways down to center field his first time up. And there's a throw back over to first. Fisher back in plenty of time. Patterson got on by way of a fielder's choice his last time up. And I would think if there's another ground ball hit that P. Ridge would give up the run in order to get the double play.
Look at that.
The Cats do it again, and that is the second time we have seen Jaden Fisher do that. He just started walking over towards second base, caught the pitcher off guard. He throws the ball to second, and while he's throwing the ball to second, then the runner breaks from third. They throw the ball into home, and Fisher's in second base all by himself. So that takes a double play out of order. And the Cats have got runners on second and third. Patterson steps in. There's no balls or strikes, and there's the first pitch, and it's inside for a ball.
Kind of shook up the pitcher some.
Yeah, it really did. I think that was one of those deals. We've seen Jaden do that before.
Yeah.
And the pitcher thinking, did he really do that? Is he still really going to do that? And he most certainly did. And there's a strike. Tried to hold back, but he broke the plane, so that evens the count at 1-1.
No outs.
And Cats are up by a score of 5-3 and threatening to score again. One run in this inning. And that ball is outside, so there's 2 balls and a strike on the designated hitter, Boston Patterson. Swings his bat just a little bit, steps in. Wilton gets ready. Here comes the throw, and he fouls it off. That evens the count at 2-2. This all started with a couple of errors by P. Ridge, and the Cats took advantage of it, and they've got one run in. There's still no outs, and runners on second and third. Mason Wilton trying to go all the way for P. Ridge, and there's a ball high. That runs the count full. Hudson Williams, then it's the top of the batting order for the Cats. Boston's guarding the plate. Here comes the next pitch. And there is a high foul ball. Everybody's giving chase, but I believe it's out of play.
It is right over there.
Yeah, it was. So we'll go back and do it again. First baseman was over there trying to give chase, but that ball just barely got out on the other side of their dugout. And the count remains full. Mason Wilton on the mound. He takes a stretch. Here's a pitch, and there's another foul off. So the catcher goes over and picks up that foul ball. Patterson stands in. He swung at that one, and they got him.
Boy, he
Struck
chased
out.
it.
He did. Chased it. There's the first out. Here's Hudson Williams. Then it's the top of the batting order for the Cats, and looks like that coach is going to want to go out and talk to his pitcher for just a minute or two. And looks like we're going to bring in a new pitcher. We'll have to see if he'll show us his number. You know, while we're doing that, let's take another time out. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for...
In a sense, we all live in earthquake zones. Sometimes things in our world are shaken by forces we can't control. It might be one of those times in your life right now. Life's quakes remind us how breakable and vulnerable we are. You were made for a relationship with Jesus Christ. Only through Him can you be saved for all eternity. He proved it by His blood when He died on the cross to pay for every sin you've ever committed. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
Welcome back to the Marion Family Complex, and as soon as the pitcher will turn around so we can see who it is, he's warming up, we'll let you know. The runners on base will belong to Wilton, and he pitched 100 and
he pitched 96.
Pitched 96 pitches. And he's going out in the bottom half of the sixth inning behind a score 5-2, and 2 more runs could be attributed to him. The pitcher, whoever it is getting plenty of time. He's a big, lanky young man. He takes a big, deep breath. He is a southpaw. It looks like number 8.
Number 8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would be Waylon Fletcher.
No, that's not who that is.
I think it's number 1.
No, he turned around again. We'll see here in just a minute. Well, maybe 1 or 3.
If it's number 1, it's Carson Payton.
Okay. Whoever it might be, he comes in with runners on second and third. He is facing Hudson Williams, and there is 1 out. Hudson just needs to get the ball out of the infield, and we'll pick up at least another insurance run. Hudson steps in. The lefty comes from the stretch. He looks back at second base. Here comes his first pitch, and that's going to be a ball. He looks over. Looks like he's taking his pitches from the dugout over there.
Well, he's got that thing on his arm.
Yeah, here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on. That goes down to first base, and they'll step on and get the out. But another run comes in. So Hudson does his job, and that goes 3 unassisted. But there's 2 outs, and we pick up another one. Here's Finn Versluis.
That was Dane Arthur that scored.
Okay. And the score now is 6-2 in favor of the Cats. Their uniforms are not not uniforms that are pleasing to the sports broadcasters' eyes, I'll tell you that. Now, there it is. It's number 3. You're black and red lettering.
Jacob Ogburn.
Jacob Ogburn. And there is a base hit that is going to bring in another run. So the Cats are getting in. Enversluis is going to go into second base.
Great hustle.
He just reached out and touched that ball and saw that there was nobody at second base, so he just came on around and picked it up. Here's Jaden Nichols. Jaden had that towering home run in the first inning, and then he is grounded out twice. There's the first pitch, and that's called strike one. Cats have done a good job. There has been one error so far, and we've hit the ball pretty well. We've hit the ball a long ways, but now we're hitting it pretty much where we need to. And there's a ball that gets past the catcher, and Enversluis goes into third base. So another base hit, and the Cats pick up another one. Jaden steps in. There is a high fly ball. Second baseman is there, and he makes the play. So the Cats pick up 3 that time. And after 6 innings of play, the score is your Neosho Wildcats 7 and the Pea Ridge Blackhawks 2. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. It's the top half of the 7th inning. The Cats picked up 3 that time. They scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and then 3 in the 6th in order to make the score 7-2 in favor of the Neosho Wildcats over the Pea Ridge Blackhawks. Here is the catcher, Rybar. There's the first pitch, and it's going to be low and inside for a ball. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, has gone the whole way for the Cats, and he's got 14 strikeouts. There's one that's on the inside corner a little bit too much for ball 2. There's a couple of people warming up over in the Wildcats bullpen, whether it be for the JV ball game or what, but they're swung on strike 1. Remind you to be right back here on Tuesday. Well, we're not right back here. We'll be in Joplin. We'll bring you the ball game, and there's a ground ball over to Jaden Nichols, up to McInturf, and he got him. No, he's saying he's safe. Pulled McInturf off just a little bit, apparently. So
that's Brody Arthur on first.
Okay, Arthur made the change over to first base. And McInturf's taken out of the ball game. Looks like they've got maybe a pinch runner that is on over there for Rybar, the catcher. They've got a runner on first base. So here comes Darren Fletcher, the left fielder. There's the first pitch, and it's inside for a ball. Arthur over at first base for the Cats, and then McInturf is out. There's the next pitch, and that's inside for ball 2. A-Rod's pitched a whale of a ball game if he just can finish it out right here. He looks down. Here comes the pitch, and there's ball 3, high. This is a territory he's been in before, not very often, but he sure has. Runner over on first base has just kind of meandered back and forth, and here comes a pitch, and that's ball 4. So now we got runners on first and second.
Kilgore's going to visit the mound.
Yeah, here comes Coach Kilgore. He's looks like he's maybe going to pull it, and Rodriguez done a great job. He has had 14 strikeouts, and he can still leave being the winner of the ball game. He's probably about pitched out as well.
Yeah, he did.
And we'll see who the new pitcher is. We'll see if we can get him to turn around and let us know.
It looks like Charlton.
It's a right-hander. It may very well be Cooper Charlton. That's that high stretch. That certainly is something that we see from him. So we'll see if he doesn't turn around here in just a minute. Cooper came in the other night and struck out the side against Kickapoo in order to finish the ball game for the Cats. There ought to be some sort of a rule out there, Matt, when they get ready to come in and finish the ball game, they turn around and give us their number first.
Yeah.
And it is exactly that. PA announcer Dave Marty confirms. Cooper Charlton, the junior that we said came in against Kickapoo and struck out the side the other night, is here to do the cleanup duty.
You know, I just got to tell you, there's no denying that boy. I know his dad, and they looked exactly alike. Yeah. I can tell from a mile away.
Yeah, you sure can. He's a big, tall, lanky kid. And we saw him play sporadically last year on varsity. He was more of a pinch hitter and a courtesy runner or pinch runner. But certainly glad to see him get an opportunity to come in, especially after striking out the side against Kickapoo. So he looks around, and we're ready to go. He's going to face Jace Binge. Cats are back at double play depth. Here comes the first pitch. Call strike 1. Takes the stretch. Here comes the second pitch underway. Call strike 2. So Charlton comes in firing strikes right off the bat. Looks down at catcher Canton Smith. Here comes the next pitch and swung on strike 3.
What do you want to call that pitch? That was slow down, boy.
That was a slow curveball, but there's the first out, and here's the top of the batting order, Jackson Stewart. Stewart has flied out. He's had a single and been stranded at third base, and he struck out his last time up. Runners on first and second. It is the top half of the 7th inning. There's the first pitch, swung on strike 1, and Canton throws the ball down to first base. Arthur being alert, got the ball back. Cats have an opportunity there's swung on strike 2. Have an opportunity to right the ship here tonight and pick up a big win before we go to Joplin next Tuesday. Here comes the third pitch from Charlton, and the home plate umpire looks, and they're going to ask him, and
not enough.
No, they not quite enough. He appealed to the base umpire, and the base umpire said no. So the count's a ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch underway. Swung on, got him. Strike 3. So Charlton does his job so far. There's the second out of the inning, and this brings up Jacob Ogsburn. Ogsburn plays third base. I want to remind you to stay tuned for the post-game show that is brought to you by Arvest Bank. Arvest Bank, proud to make Neosho their home. There's the first pitch, and a little high for ball 1. I'm sure Coach Kilgore is going to want to come up, and we'll talk a little bit about this Cats team and the things that they're back to righting the ship. That one's call strike on the inside corner. That evens the count at 1-1. 2 outs, 1 more out, and Cats go home happy. There's the next pitch, and it's foul, strike 2. Ogburn stands in. Here comes the next pitch, and there's call strike 3, and that's the ball game. Got him. So
in 11 pitches, he got 3 outs.
Cooper Charlton does it again. He came and struck out the side against Kickapoo the other night. He does the same thing again here. He gets the save, and he preserves the victory for Alex Rodriguez. And the Cats win at 7-2. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with a summary of the ball game, but we want you to stay tuned for the post-game show brought to you by Arvest Bank.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Affordable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
McKay Quality Roofing is a proud supporter of KNEO Radio and the Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They're located in their offices at 811 South Neosho Boulevard. They specialize in roof removal and replacement of residential and commercial properties. In order to serve you better, they have offices in Neosho, Cassville, and Grove, Oklahoma. Call McKay Quality Roofing at 417-455-3326 for a free quote, or go online at McKayQualityRoofing.com for more information. Go Cats! Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, we become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today, visit risefitnesscenter.com.
McKay Quality Roofing is a proud supporter of KNEO Radio and the Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They're located in their offices at 811 South Neosho Boulevard. They specialize in roof removal and replacement of residential and commercial properties. In order to serve you better, they have offices in Neosho, Cassville, and Grove, Oklahoma. Call McKay Quality Roofing at 417-455-3326 for a free quote, or go online at McKayQualityRoofing.com for more information. Go Cats!
Insurance Benefits Consultants now has 2 locations to serve you. They're located at 1009 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho and at 701 Northwest McNelly Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. They are proud supporters of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They provide Medicare and Medicaid supplemental policies, as well as life, health, and group health insurance plans from companies like Allstate and Colonial. For more information, call 417-451-4244 or in Arkansas, 479-431-5226.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
Welcome back to the Roy B. Shaver Stadium. The ball game is over. The Neosho Wildcats win it by a score of 7-2. At Arvest Bank in Neosho, we believe in the power of serving others. From small business to agriculture, whether you're looking for someone to help you manage your mortgage or an expert in wealth management, we've got you covered. You deserve a financial partner who cares about you and wants to help you reach your financial goals. Arvest Bank, proud to call Neosho home. Well, the Cats right the ship after a really tough week. They win the ball game by a score of 7-1, did it largely with pitching. We had 2 pitchers that combined for 16 strikeouts. Alex Rodriguez went deep into the 6th inning and was pulled in the 7th inning. I think probably more for pitch count than it was anything else. Cooper Charlton comes in the 2nd time this week and strikes out the side in order to win the ball game. The Cats had 7 hits and 7 runs, one of them being a home run by Jaden Nichols. We hit the ball and hit it hard, and we are excited about what the Cats are doing to move forward. They go to Gravette on Monday, and then our next broadcast will be over in Joplin, Missouri. I see Coach Kilgore coming this way, so we're going to take another time out, and we'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationships.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 4.
And welcome back. We're at the ballpark. The game is over with, and this is the post-game show, and we have Mr. Alex Rodriguez.
Pleasure.
13 strikeouts, my friend.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good ball game. Did you ever think that you were in trouble?
Oh, no. Had a defense behind me, felt great.
Yeah, I continue to hear that, the defense behind me, and that this kind of writes the week that we've not had the best week in the world. This kind of writes it. The defense was behind you, and they took care of you. But you took care of business yourself, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that is exactly what we've got to do. Let's see, we go to Gravette Coach on Monday, and then we play a Joplin team on Tuesday, so we're pretty excited about that.
It should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be a really great game. It seemed like you had your fastball and maybe a little bit of a curveball that was kind of maybe hanging a little bit and dropping in.
Yeah, I switched it up, went from a curveball to a slider, changed them up, make them see different things.
Yeah, okay, all right. And it's pretty nice to have someone like Charlton back here behind you that's going to finish it up and protect you, right?
Oh, yeah, it feels great.
Yeah, okay, congratulations.
Thank
Let
you.
me talk to him for just a minute. Mr. Charlton. No, I don't see him. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. Mr. Versluis, come on over here. Finn Versluis, our center fielder. Finn, we say every time you get on base, we're going to score. It's just that plain and simple, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it really is. And you get on, and you just seem to be able to manufacture runs. Nice double that you hit out there. And the best part about that is you saw there was nobody at second base. You probably could have waltzed right in, couldn't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What do you think about this ball club? We've had kind of a rough week this week, but we're back and we're turning things the right way, and we're ready to go move forward.
Yeah, we had a tough week against Kickapoo and Ozark last night, but I think this is a really big win to go into the weekend and then prepare for next week.
Yeah, next week we're going to go up against Joplin, who right now is 4-11 in the COC, and then we come right back here and we take on Republic, who's 8-10.
Ready for Republic.
Yeah, we're ready for Republic. We want to get with them. With those two wins, we can be not only right at the top, we can just kind of basically say, guys, there's no more question, right? So we're excited about that. Congratulations on a great win. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Where did that home run ball come from?
Came out of nowhere, I guess. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Jaden Nichols is with us, the third baseman. He was 3 for 4 last night at Ozark, and then all of a sudden you popped up and that ball went, and it just kept going, didn't it?
Kept going.
Come on right over here, so people can see you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I want to see your smiling face. Yeah. Yeah, you have moved from second base. You played a little bit of shortstop. You're playing third base now. Tell me, is there a difference?
You know, there's a little bit, but, you just got to keep on focusing on, making the plays and, keeping team camaraderie up. Really just focus on going out there and having fun playing baseball.
Well, last year it was kind of Hudson over on third base, and you were there at second base, and you were kind of the key to making the double play balls. We have made the double play balls this year, haven't we?
We indeed have. That's all we work on in practice, so we better, for sure.
Yeah, we most definitely should. Well, it's a great win tonight. You started us off. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Coach. I guess I'm getting old. I can't see in my old age. Listen, when we have pitchers come in, can you make them first turn around and look at us so we can see their number?
Wave at you?
So we know.
Absolutely, we can do that.
Yeah. Great win tonight after a couple of really, really tough outings.
This was bounce back and just the resiliency of the kids. And it was a rough week, and what you find out is, great team can respond and bounce back, and they didn't let this week bother them, and they came out and played the game the right way.
Yeah, we really did. And I had said even last night as we were going home, nobody in the COC has beat us yet. Now, when I say that, that means that we beat ourselves twice, and that means we're still right up amongst them. We're at the top of the district. We're at top of the COC, and we keep playing the kind of ball we're playing. I think the sky's the limit.
Well, and I believe that as well. And the kids, we're still learning our identity and a lot about each other. But one thing that I do know is, they love the game. They make it fun. They give you everything that they got, and that was a prime example today against a good Pea Ridge ball club that we had to bounce back. We had to, forget, the couple of games this week and focus on today and what are we going to do today to get better. And, Alex Rodriguez, what can you say? He came out and competed, and he gave us an opportunity to win, and a lot of first pitch strikes, and so he had several pitches that he was locating, and we made the plays that we had to make behind him, and and you can't say enough about Jaden Nichols. Give us an early lead. And, on Finn, when Finn gets on, he creates some havoc.
Yeah, he does.
The three times that he was on, we had opportunities and he stole bases, and it just makes it tough on their defense. So that's what we need is a spark plug in him.
Well, A-Rod going deep into the sixth inning, that was really what we needed. That was what the doctor called for.
Yeah, and we needed that. But, that's what we expect, out of our starters, get us deep into the game. And when it doesn't happen, it just makes it a little bit more difficult and puts a little more pressure on our pen. But he was able to do that, and turning the ball over to Cooper Charlton. He's twice now. He has come in and done an amazing job against Kickapoo, and now against Pea Ridge. So he will have future opportunities.
He's kind of solidified himself here
right.
a little bit, hadn't he?
He sure has.
Well, we go to Gravett on Monday night. We will not be there. We'll do the ball game on Tuesday over at Joplin. What do you know about Gravett?
Solid traditionally. That was my first head coaching.
Is that right?
Baseball job. And so great community, great school support. So we know that we're going to see a quality ball club, and don't know much about them.
Pea Ridge has beat them.
Yeah. And if you look back, I did see where Gravett beat Bentonville West. So, I think, it's baseball. You just got to go out and play no matter who you play. And it's another opportunity for us to get better and prepare for the CLC in Joplin on Tuesday.
We had 7 hits tonight, another strong defensive showing. We may have one, maybe flubbed up twice with errors, but basically it was a great defensive game as well.
Yeah, and that's what you got to have. And we ask our pitchers to pitch to contact, allow your defense to work, and pretty much this year we have done that. We've played pretty good defense, and now we haven't been perfect, and so the one thing that we can control, is try to win the freebie war, and limit the walks, limit the errors, limit the mistakes, and normally, whoever wins the freebie war wins the game. So that's kind of our approach and mindset.
Well, we 7-hit Pumphrey last night, and I'll tell you, this week I think we've seen 2 of the prolific pitchers at the CLC.
We have, and I was very proud with our approach at the plate, last night, and it was just unfortunate we lost the freebie war. And that's just one to where you can chalk that up to say we didn't play very well, but we had a lot of positives from that game, and there's a good chance that we'll see them come district tournament time.
I think we're excited to see them come district tournament time because we know we can hit them.
That's right.
That's right. Coach, thank you so much. Appreciate
you
being here. Great victory. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here and covering us. Go Cats.
Yeah. All right. You heard it. That's kind of where we are. We're going to finish it up here tonight for John Ball and Matt Ball. We are excited that you were part of our broadcast tonight. Hopefully we have made your Friday evening a little bit better. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you for the opportunity. When you get a chance, come out here and see these Cats. We will be in Joplin on Tuesday, but we'll be right back here on Thursday night. So till we see you again, go Cats!
Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. Now let's go to the game site for all the action.